Hello everyone, my name is Nicole and I am part of the group 34, developers of the application Rumor. In this final sprint, we focus on completing the application and improving its overall performance and efficiency. Beyond implementing functionalities, this stage made us reflect on the ethical implications of optimization, sustainability, accessibility, and long-term software responsibility. In this video, we will share some of the ethical reflections that emerged during the final development phase of Rumora and the lessons we learned as a team. Now, Esteban will continue with the next reflection.
During this sprint, one important reflection for me was the environmental impact of software optimization. At first, it's easy to think that applications only exist digitally and do not affect the environment directly. However, improving memory usage and reducing unnecessary process can also reduce energy consumption. Realize that inefficient code affects not only performance but also battery usage, server demand, and device resources. When thousands of users interact with an application, even a small inefficiency can become significant at a scale. This made me understand that optimization is not only a technical improvement, but also an ethical responsibility. Developers should think not only about making apps work, but also making them sustainable and efficient over time. Now, Andy will come with another reflection.
For me, this sprint raised some important reflections about accessibility and fairness. Optimizing the application on one hand helped us understand that the performance problems don't affect all users equally. So it's possible that some users have older devices, they have limited storage or unstable internet connections, kind of depending on their ability to purchase these products. So if an application consumes too many resources, then it could exclude people who don't have access to high-end technology indirectly. So this sprint just helped me realize that performance optimization is also connected to inclusion. So if we can make an app lighter and faster, it's not only about the user experience, but also about creating a more fair access for different kinds of users. And that's really important when we're considering app development. So now I'll pass it on to Ali.
During this final sprint, I reflected on ethical responsibility developers have towards futures of a certain product. As applications grow, poorly organized code and rushed decisions can create long-term problems for both developers and users. We discussed some optimizations which are related to maintainability of the software and its quality. Writing cleaner and more efficient code helps us to improve and become stable and reduces the possibility of errors later. This made me think about how ethical development is not only about immediate results, but also about building software responsible for the future. Developers should avoid solutions that work temporarily, but can create larger problems later. Now, Juan David, go on.
For this sprint, the main reflection I had was related to teamwork under pressure, because as we approach the final sprint, it would have become easier to prioritize speed over good communication and personal well-being. However, we were able to make a responsible collaboration based on respect, on patience, on support of each other, and that reminded me that an ethical software development it's based on a healthy teamwork. And we also realized that a good product should not become at the cost of burnout, bad communication, or excessive workload for a specific person. Now I will pass the final reflection to Nicole.
One of the most important reflections for me during this sprint was understanding how much responsibility developers have once an application becomes more complete. At this stage, users no longer interact with isolated features but with an entire experience. This means that decisions related to performance, reliability, and usability directly affect how safe and comfortable users feel while using the application. I also reflect on how optimizations improves trust. When an app behaves consistently, loads efficiently, and respects users' devices and time, people are more likely to feel confident using it. This sprint helped me understand that technical quality and ethical responsibility are deeply connected.
To conclude, this final sprint shows that ethical responsibility goes far beyond implementing functionalities. Optimization, accessibility, sustainability, teamwork, and software quality all have ethical implications that affect both the user and developers. Throughout this project, we learned that responsible software development means thinking carefully about the impact of our decisions, both now and in the future. Thank you for watching our reflection and see you soon.